Thank you for joining us this morning. We really appreciate your participation during this busy renewal period. We'll move quickly through the launch and we'll be finished in about an hour. A thought to all of you and your families who've struggled with COVID and possibly lost family members and friends during this last year. Our thoughts are with you all. It's always great to give you an update on our business, and who would believe that we're still in a virtual world where we're dealing with our second virtual launch. So James keeps me in my office for another year without the opportunity to catch up with all of you in person. Knowing James and wanting to launch early, he'll probably want to launch in April next year, but we'll see. James has also said I only have 5 minutes, as he does every year. This morning, Brian, our head of operations, Wendy, our product specialist, and James will be taking you through our services and products for 2022. Janita and Mira from Johannesburg are also on this call, together with Robin in KZN and Lauren in the Cape. Dr. Michael Moll, a friend of Turnberry and fellow Liverpool supporter, is joining us and will provide some interesting and practical health tips. Michael will also discuss some future medical trends and the vaccinations we are currently going through. We hope that Michael's insights will assist you and your clients to get moving, as Michael says, and to boost our immune systems that is so important as we navigate our way through this pandemic. As always, thank you so much for your support over this last year. Let me give you a brief update of what's been happening in Turnberry's world in the last year. There have been a few unique challenges, or as I say here on the slide, outside influences, at both a personal and business level over the last year. In looking at the various forward predictions currently being made, these challenges, together with several new ones, will be coming our way in the years ahead. A number of economists are predicting that climate change and how it is managed will potentially be the biggest game changer going forward. This is quite scary when we're still struggling to digest the impact of COVID and the knock-on effect to businesses. The recent riots have only compounded on an already tough recessionary environment. At Turnberry, our main focus has been on how we can assist you, our brokers, in growing and supporting your business during these challenging times. To deal with this ever-changing landscape, we've looked to further develop our agility and flexibility to be able to respond timeously to any new challenges so that we can provide meaningful support to you, our brokers, and to your clients. At Turnberry, we did see a slowdown in new business during the first lockdown and the first wave. However, the speed to which you all adapted to Teams and Zoom meetings, amongst various other changes we were all faced with, was incredible. This was reflected in our new business volumes, where from the impact of the first lockdown in April, we saw an improvement to normal volumes by mid-2020 and a very active close to the 2020 calendar year. Thank you again for your support. The expansion of our digital presence, including our online application, was also met with enthusiasm, and we're seeing a steady growth in our digital volumes. If you've not tried the digital onboarding of clients, please chat to one of our consultants, as it could assist you in this virtual world we are operating in. I'll let Wendy provide you with an update on this digital space, together with the leverage we are seeing from the various Lombard platforms. Following on from these building blocks, we've also focused on our brand and product awareness. I would ask you to chat to your consultants or James and even myself to explore the digital marketing collateral that we've developed. We have shared this via Facebook and LinkedIn, and it's very easy to share with your own client base. The collateral could not only assist in providing product awareness to your potential and existing clients, but we can also assist with digital campaigns to your existing and potential clients to assist you in the generation of new business. The articles we have done vary from simple explanations on gap cover and the benefits of gap cover to more in-depth articles on items such as cancer, and biological cancer drugs. How has this new order influenced the way Turnberry operates? And you're probably on a similar journey. We've moved to a full paper-free environment. We are adjusting to the work-from-home environment, as I'm sure you all are. And our future style looks to be a combination of work from home and the office. And following on from this, we're reviewing our office requirements. We also make use of outsourced specialists that are aligned to our core value of customer service. These specialists are based in a few countries, such as Spain, the UK, Norway, Canada, Australia, and Southeast Asia. Some were previously based in South Africa, and some we've met through our network. We're really enjoying the flexibility of outsourced specialists that we can flex on demand as we need them in these changing times. We're focused on providing solutions that are built on a combination of 3 pillars: strong, competent people, good processes, and good systems. As it is only when these 3 pillars are aligned and operating well can you deliver consistent quality service. When we last met, I discussed the COVID claims bubble, and I thought you might like to see how our claims have developed over this last year. The value proposition of the GAP product is probably best demonstrated with the claim values we have paid and anticipate paying in the next year. The increase in our overall book plays a part in the development of our claims paid to the 84 million mark next year. However, discounting the increase in our overall book, the medical inflation rate is in excess of 10% per annum, a number we've spoken about before. Brian will discuss claims in more detail a little later. We've seen the influence of the various waves and the slowdown in elective surgeries. Probably the utilization on the right-hand side of the slide shows the volatility of the GAP environment over the last year. When comparing July this year to April last year, we had an increase in claims utilization of 47%. We are focused on our client service and in particular the claims area, as when a client claims, it's often the delivery of the claim that drives their overall view of their Turnberry client experience. The current fluctuations in claim volumes bring with them some unique challenges. However, with our system and team flexibility, we continue to provide leading-edge service. I'm very proud of the Turnberry team, yes, even James, and how they've adapted to their new normal. And I thank everyone for their support and focus. As always, to you, our supporting broker partners, thank you so much for your business. We really appreciate the trust. Please take care of yourselves and your families in these unpredictable times. I'll now hand over to Wendy to expand on our new platforms. Thanks again.
Thank you, Tony. This morning I'm excited to share 2 new platforms with you that have specifically been designed to make your lives easier and more efficient. The first platform is the Turnberry Broker Training and CPD platform, which provides a repository of information that you will require throughout the year. The platform provides access to product-specific training, which is available, and once completed, a certificate will be emailed to you. Articles which have been accredited by the Insurance Institute of South Africa for CPD points, client testimonials that you can share with potential new clients. To assist you with your own digital presence, we have created social media and LinkedIn posts which you can share with your clients via Facebook as well as LinkedIn. There's also a training presentation on how to create your own LinkedIn profile to source new clients. In addition to the standard marketing material, you can also access videos, a comparison of Turnberry products, and the broker application form. The Broker Training and CPD platform can be accessed under the Broker tab on Turnberry's website. The second platform that has been developed specifically to help you and your clients during the pandemic is a Turnberry digital application form. The most common words that we've heard during this pandemic is "I don't have a printer" and "you're on mute." The need to go digital has increased as younger clients are more technologically inclined. However, the COVID-19 pandemic made the option of digital transformation a necessity, and we have responded to this need with the fully digital application form we have created for you and your clients. The digital application allows you to do everything online, from starting the application through to your client signing the application electronically by using the touchpad of their laptop or the computer mouse, eliminating the need for your client to download specific software. A record of advice can also be added to the application form in order for you to access it easily. The client also needs to accept waiting periods and exceptions by means of manual intervention, which can be specifically helpful when it comes time at claims and they're disputing the waiting periods. When underwriting concessions are granted, the specific concession reflects under the waiting period section on the application. A record of all applications is kept under the broker's individual login, and a new feature that we've recently added is the ability to download the application form for you to be able to store it with your records. The strength of the system really lies in the logic that has been built into it. When you add an extended family member, it will automatically calculate the premium that will come to. Should you charge the client the under 65 or over 65 rates, the system will answer that for you, making it far easier for you to be able to complete the application. The policy schedules are also sent through to the clients at a far faster rate. What used to take our new business team 20 minutes to capture is now taking them only a few moments to accept once reviewed, making the whole process a lot faster and easier for you. To receive your login details and training, please contact your broker consultant, or please feel free to contact me directly. I'll now hand over to Brian, who will now go through the claims that we have experienced over this period.
Thank you, Wendy, and welcome to everybody, and thank you for your time today. It's certainly been an eventful year, so I'd like to share some of the insights we have gained from a claims perspective. A significant number to look at is that we pay claims to a third of our policyholder base every year. The graph illustrated represents the monthly trends, indicating the percentage of clients who have their claims paid every month. This will also give you an idea of the seasonality we experience. While there has been much coverage about the profitability of medical aids over the past year, the COVID bubble is something that we have discussed at length, planned for, and are now experiencing. This is seen in the sharp upward trajectory of the utilization line on the graph. These bubbles stem from a few sources. There's been a change in general human behavior. We are driving less. We've become more health conscious. And certain groups, and particularly our senior policyholders, have shown a reluctance to visit hospitals unless it's absolutely necessary. And in some cases, these bubbles have also originated from the closure of some of the medical facilities. But in the gap market, these procedures can't be delayed indefinitely, and we have seen a significant increase in procedures as lockdown levels have eased. As far as the different categories go, maternity is slightly down at the moment, perhaps as people exercise additional caution in these uncertain times. But musculoskeletal, gastrointestinal, cancer, cardiovascular, and respiratory-related illnesses have all increased. Taking your attention to the top right-hand side of the slide, I've included some of the highest individual claims we have paid since 2019. And because these go over a calendar year, they've also all far surpassed the overall annual limit. We have this information for every brokerage, so please contact me if you would like this info to assist you with your sales process. Currently, we are receiving claims 68 days after treatment, and we're able to pay these claims within 2 days of receiving them through efficient claims processes and a daily claims payment run. We have a very experienced team who are incredibly passionate about providing exceptional service to you and your clients. We are all set up at home with inverters, so not even load shedding will stop us from delivering a world-class experience to you. I'd now like to hand over to our Director of Sales and Marketing, James White.
Morning, everyone. Brian, Tony, Wendy, thank you very much for your part of the presentation today. I'm hoping everyone after the presentation got a better idea and view of the workings within Turnberry over the last year, the claims that we've experienced, and then some of the nice innovative ideas that we've worked on in terms of the digital application form and also the broker platform where the product-specific training is available and CPD points can be acquired. I think also I would like to mention to you guys that, you know, Tony, who's been in the finance space for the last 60, 70, 80 years, still doesn't know what 5 minutes is. So hopefully after this, Tony and I can have a one-on-one and I can try and explain it to him. Guys, with that being said, I really just want to thank everyone for attending today. The last year has been obviously a challenging and trying year. Fortunately, over this period, Turnberry has managed to grow our broker base with new contracted intermediaries. So for you who attended our launch for the first time, thank you very much. And then for our existing business partners who have been with Turnberry over a period of time, we also want to thank you and for all the support that you've given us over the last year. We know that human desires crave social interaction, and I think especially with us all in the sales environment really do miss that aspect of life. So yes, it's another virtual product launch that we're doing. Tony and myself have had a number of discussions and we really are hoping that things change going forward and that we're going to get the opportunity to meet up with a lot of you new contracted brokers with Turnberry, and then also catch up with a lot of the existing supporting brokers you know, that have given us support over the last year. So hopefully next year we're not going to be having this virtual product launch and we're actually going to be hiring out venues and we can have that social interaction aspect of the launch. Guys, with that, I'm going to start on the 2022 product enhancements and the benefit changes to the products for 2022. It's just going to be an overview of these products. I think as Wendy mentioned earlier, there is the broker portal where you can go onto and you can get the product-specific training in more depth. So my part of the presentation is really just to show the enhancements on products and the benefit changes going into 2022. Okay, with regards to the product enhancements for 2022, we're going to start off on our Premier option. The overall annual limit is increasing to 177,800. I think that's in line with the CPI index in terms of the demarcation regulations. Then what we've also done is we've increased a number of our benefits. And the benefits that we've increased in terms of the utilization and claims experience we've had over the last year. So there's not a case of smoke and mirrors over here. We've tried to enhance benefits that people have actually claimed on during the last year, the year and a half. The first one is the increase in the usage of the non-DSP benefit, and then as well as the trauma recovery care benefit. We've increased that as well. And that benefit was a new benefit that we implemented this year, which is the usage of a step-down facility for physical rehabilitation as a result of an accident where the medical scheme has implemented a sublimit. We've then introduced a new benefit for 2022, which is the innovative cancer drug benefit. And I think a lot of you would have experienced or heard about these new innovative drugs that have come out during the course of this last year. And a good example is the Keytruda. So we've introduced this benefit now where the clients will have access to a benefit of 10,000 Rand per treatment on these innovative drugs that also don't form part of our biological cancer drug list. It is important to know though, for the benefit to be obtained, there has to be a benefit paid out from the medical aid as well. So if the medical aid is not willing to pay out for one of these innovative cancer drugs, then obviously the client's not going to have the benefit for us. We've then introduced and increased the benefits on our MRI CT scan cover. We've increased the benefit on our trauma care cover benefit. We've increased the benefit on our co-payment for scopes. We've increased benefits on our casualty for accidents, as well as our casualty for illnesses, where there has been a fair amount of utilization on these over the last year. So we find it important to increase these benefits, especially the casualty for accidents and illnesses. And then we've also introduced a new benefit for next year, which is our basic dental medical expense shortfall cover. Okay, so on our dental benefits that we currently offer, this benefit now allows children who are 12 years old or younger, if they are hospitalized for any dental procedures that they might need, there is a benefit available for that. And maybe an example is, you know, when children are the age of 6 or 7 years old and they need 6 or 7 fillings, you go into hospital, you have it done, we will now cover those shortfalls. So we're not expecting them to have it done in a doctor's room because obviously children that age, it can be quite traumatic. Then the changes on our optimal option for 2022. Once again, we've increased our overall annual limit on the optimal to the 177,800, which is also obviously in line with the demarcation regulations. We've increased the benefit on the non-DSP on the optimal option as well. And then we've also added on the innovative cancer drug benefit onto our optimal option. So clients will also once again have access to those type of drugs, for example, Keytruda. We've increased the benefits on our MRI CT scan cover. We've increased the benefit on trauma care, as well as co-payments for scopes. And then once again, the casualty benefit and illness benefits have also got a nice benefit increase there. And then we've also introduced the basic dental medical expense shortfall cover onto the optimal option that children from the age of 12 years old or younger will have access to. Moving on to the synergy option, which is also a really great option, and we've had good success with this option over the last year. We've increased the overall annual limit in terms of the demarcation regulations. We've increased the usage of the non-DSP benefit. We've then gone and increased the MRI CT scan cover. We've increased the trauma care cover, the co-payment for scopes. Once again, the casualty benefits for accidents as well as casualty benefit for illnesses. And we've introduced the basic dental medical expense shortfall cover onto the synergy option as well. Obviously, the RAND values differentiate between the Premier Optimal and Synergy, but there is a benefit for those children of 12 years old or younger on that option as well. Moving on to our MedExtend option. MedExtend option we introduced a couple of years ago, and there's been some really good uptake on this option. And I'm not too sure if it's a sign of the economic times or the reasoning behind it, but there's been some good uptake on our MedExtend option. So that encouraged us to go and add and change some of the benefits on this. We've obviously increased the OAL. We've introduced a new casualty benefit for both illnesses and accidents on the MedExtend option, up to 3,000 Rand per policy per annum. Each one of those defined benefits that we have on our MedExtend option, we've increased the RAND values on those also going into 2022, as well as introduced the new defined benefit, endoscopic procedures, which was a benefit we never had on the product range this year, but we've introduced it going into 2022. Moving on to our launch option, which is our base option and really a nice cost-effective option, which gives basic gap cover benefits for clients. So on the launch option, we've increased our overall annual limit, and then we've increased the casualty benefit as well. And as you can see on all the options, we've increased casualty because it really is a benefit that's been utilized over the last year. For those of you who aren't aware, each one of Turnberry's options that we offer have free international travel cover associated with them. So no matter what option you've got, there's a travel benefit available to clients that they have access to. And maybe just pointing out one or two things on our travel cover, and there have been a couple of changes, obviously, with what's happened over the last year and a half. We've had to enhance and change the benefits, to fit in. An important benefit that we do have on our travel cover is the dental benefit. It's always a benefit that we've had, but we just thought we would just point it out that the clients know what the benefit is and how they can utilize it. The dental benefit really is if a client's going overseas and as a result of an emergency needs to have some form of dental treatment done, okay, there's a 5,000 Rand benefit that they have available. So that's really if you're overseas and a filling comes out or you fall and you knock your tooth and you need to go get some form of dental treatment, the benefits there are available to clients. What is not available, what clients don't understand about the benefits is we have clients that have gone over and tried to claim for dental procedures that they couldn't have done here in South Africa and are trying to claim against it on their travel benefit, which is not what the benefit is there for, and obviously clients wouldn't be able to utilize it. Another nice benefit that has been introduced by TIC is the new quarantine expense benefit. So if you are traveling overseas and you contract the COVID virus and you need to self-quarantine, okay, there's a 2,500 Rand a day benefit available for clients to utilize, up to a maximum of 25,000 Rand. So what it's not there for is if you're going overseas traveling and you need to self-quarantine before you can go out, or you need to isolate for a period of time, it's not built in for that. It's there so if you are overseas and you do contract the virus and you do need to self-quarantine for medical reasons, the benefit is then available. I think two other important things to point out on the travel cover is clients need to notify us 48 hours before traveling. In the past, a client would travel and they would phone our offices and speak to Lizelle or Gordine and they would be able to assist them and get the travel cover then in place. Unfortunately, that's changed now. TRC require 48 hours notice before traveling. So please, if your clients are going to utilize this benefit, please just make sure that they do notify us, and we will then issue them with required certificates. Another important change on the travel cover is when a client is traveling overseas and they use their current travel cover, for example, with one of the medical schemes that offer travel cover, they got their 90-day period. Afterwards, we used to allow them to have an additional 90 days with us. Unfortunately, that's changed. TRC no longer allow that, so you utilize the travel cover for the first 90 days that you're traveling. Another important change on the travel cover is also we've seen a lot of people that have immigrated. Okay, the travel cover does not allow clients to use the benefit for the first 90 days while they're overseas in the process of immigrating. In order to get the travel cover, you need to have a return ticket. Okay, so it is important that clients understand that. So those are a couple of the significant changes on the travel cover, but it really is a nice benefit, and yes, it hasn't been overutilized over the last year because of the restrictions and that, but I think going forward, there's going to be a fair amount of utilization on that travel benefit of ours. Another change on the travel is we've introduced, I think, if you guys are aware of the fact that we used to have the travel cover that was from 1 to 30 days. We've now introduced a rate from 1 to 14 days, which comes in a lot lower than the 1 to 30 days. And, it kind of makes sense because obviously a lot of people go overseas for a 10 or 13 or a 2-week holiday. So they don't have to pay the more expensive rate for the 30-day period. They can actually just now pay that rate for 14 days. And bearing in mind, guys, that rate is really, really an affordable rate, and it's only available to members that are on TURNBERRY. This is not a standalone product. So as a TURNBERRY client, you have access to these really affordable rates for the period of travel that you're going overseas. Moving on to underwriting. I think as you guys are all aware, current underwriting, in terms of, once again, the demarcation regulation allows you to impose waiting periods on condition-specific procedures. Okay, so our standard waiting period, yes, you've got a 3-month waiting period, you've got a 10-month on maternity, and then you've got a list of condition specifics where there's 12-month waiting periods. And that's how it's always operated. Over the last, I suppose, going back 6 months, 8 months, TURNBERRY has been offering these concessions and allowing new business to be processed with very, very much favorable underwriting concessions. And as you can see on the slide, there is a favorable underwriting concession that we have in place up until the end of December this year for individual business that joins. We will not impose a 3-month waiting period on the general waiting period. And the only condition-specific waiting periods that we will impose is a 10-month on maternity, 12-month on musculoskeletal, and 12-month on cancer. All other waiting periods, okay, will be waived, and the clients will be able to then have access to those benefits from date of joining. We are going to be running this, like I said, until the end of December, and if needs be, I think between Tony, myself, and Brian, we'll relook at it, and if we need to run it for an extended period, we will do. Guys, and moving on to group quotes. I think if you guys can remember, for those of you that did attend our launch last year, we did a lot of work the previous year in terms of re-looking and rejigging our group quoting and our, the way that we deal from a group perspective. We've had some really, really good success over the last year in terms of the group quotes, and the new business has come on in terms of groups. I really do encourage any of you that do have any groups to afford us the opportunity to provide you with some of the quotes. We not only obviously have really good rates in terms of groups, but there's favorable underwriting. We do electronic take-ons, which makes life so much easier as opposed to having to fill out 20 or 30 application forms. We can do electronic spreadsheet, and we can do a data dump onto our system and get the members on. And then obviously, as mentioned, from an underwriting perspective, the demographics of the groups do play a role in terms of the number of members, the industry that they're in, the average age, and then certainly what medical aid option they're on. But we really do ask to please give us the opportunity to quote in some of your groups, and I'm sure you'll be pleasantly surprised in terms of the rates and the underwriting that comes back. Guys, from a claim submission, it's great me telling you all about the products and the pricing and all the nice things that TURNBERRY have offered and that, but if claims doesn't work, then everything I'm telling you, is in vain. I think a lot of you over the years supporting and working with TURNBERRY will know that our claims works. Guys, we've got a lot of client testimonial, I think Wendy might have spoken about. and broker testimonials in terms of the feedback and the service that they've got. We have two ways that a client can submit a claim now. I think Wendy might have mentioned it to you, but there's a online interactive claim form, okay, that the clients can get from the website under claims. They can complete that claim form online. It then allows them to add on any of the additional documentation that is required, and they can submit that straight on to our claims department. The other way is they can obviously obtain a claim form from the website under documents, and they can print a claim form. They can complete it if they want to print it, complete it that way, add their supporting documents and submit it. Provided all supporting documents are with the claim forms, guys, the claims works. I know Brian was saying that claims are paid, a lot of the claims at the moment are paid within a day or 2 days. And I know most claims currently are 3 maximum working days and they're paid. So the claims team really does pay the claims. Everything is sorted out, provided obviously that all the supporting document is submitted when the claim form is there. And the supporting documents are, I think, pretty much standard in the industry. Obviously the claim form, the doctor's account, the hospital account, and the medical aid statement. So provided all the documentation's there, claims works, claims are paid, and they're paid timelessly, and clients aren't going to be waiting for their money for extended periods. Guys, with that, I would like to say, once again, thank you for attending today. Thank you for your time. I know that it's a very busy period now, these next couple of months with you, in terms of all the presentations from the medical schemes and the various gap cover players out there in the market. And I know you've got your renewals coming up with all your clients. So really do appreciate your time. I know Wendy's looking at the chats in terms of any questions that you guys might have. So we will try and answer as many of these questions as possible. And the ones that unfortunately we can't get to, we'll make sure that you do get feedback on those questions. Guys, with that, I thank you very much for your time again, and all of you, please stay safe. Thank you.